name's Aurelia Lopez, and for my two goods that I chose for my PPF line was sandwiches and cookies. This is my graph, and then this is my mom's graph. And in order to make the sandwiches, I would need to use bread, lettuce, cheese, tomatoes, and turkey. And for the cookies, I would use baking soda, flour, and chocolate chips, and whatever else would be needed for that. So as far as my graph, in 1 hour I can make 20 sandwiches, and in 1 hour I can make 12 cookies, or in 10 hours I can make 200 sandwiches, and in 10 hours I can make 120 cookies. So if I solely worked on making cookies for 10 hours, I would make 120 and not make any sandwiches, or vice versa. I would make 200 sandwiches in 10 hours and not make any cookies. For my mom's graph, she can make 10 sandwiches in an hour or 15 cookies in an hour. Or she can do 100 sandwiches in 10 hours and 150 cookies in 10 hours. And if she solely worked on making sandwiches for 10 hours straight, she would make 100 sandwiches and not have any cookies, or vice versa as well. She would make 150 cookies and not have any sandwiches. As far as our absolute advantage goes, mine would be sandwiches because I can make 200 sandwiches, whereas my mom can only make 100 sandwiches. And her absolute advantage is cookies because she can make 150 cookies, whereas I can only make 120 cookies. For a comparative advantage, mine would still be sandwiches because for every one sandwich I can only do 1.6 cookies, and hers would be cookies because for every one cookie she can only make 1.6 sandwiches. So for the trade-off, if we were to trade, say we traded 60 sandwiches for 90 cookies, it would be up here above the PFF line, whereas if we didn't trade, it would be right here shown by this dotted line. And as well as for me, if we traded 60 sandwiches for 90 cookies, it would be a little bit above up here, above the PFF line, so we would essentially be better off trading, because if not, we would be shown here by this dotted line. So that concludes my PPF line, and thank y'all.